2 plans executed to perfection, but it turns out she needed 3.
It wasn't the debate. It wasn't the strategy. It wasn't the execution. I did everything right. It wasn't me. WikiLeaks. It was Russia.
And Christopher Steele would provide the blueprint. Christopher Steele was a former British intelligence officer hired by the Hillary Clinton campaign during the 2016 general election. His assignment: compile everything damaging on Donald Trump that could be found. But Hillary wasn't interested in everything. She had one thing in particular in mind. This is the story of what happens when the most trusted names in American media and American politics thinks they know they know, and decides to go all in. Adam Schiff was the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. He had the clearance, he had the credibility, and now he had the dossier. What came next would define 2 years of American political life. Rachel Maddow, MSNBC, the most watched host in cable news. She had built her audience on one promise: follow the thread wherever it leads and don't let go until it takes you somewhere real. In other words, she built her audience on trust, which turned into faith. In March of 2017, she dropped a teaser that almost seemed too good to be true. This was going to be the thread that changed everything. The thread that was going to deliver what they had all been waiting for. His presidency was sure to be over after this.
We have them. We have Donald Trump's tax returns. Seriously. And I want to be very clear about what we're looking at here, because this will change everything.
Every night, same couch, same channel, looking for answers, and still wearing the shirt.
OMG, I just love Maddow. I can't believe we're finally taking him down.
What I have here in my hands are Donald Trump's 2005 federal tax returns. It looks like these pages are straightforward. He paid $38 million in taxes and made more than $150 million. For the record, the First Amendment gives us the right to publish these returns. We did nothing illegal here.
Well, that thread went nowhere. Looks like he paid his taxes, at least for that year. For approximately 72 hours, this story mattered. But where others might panic, Maddow would pivot. And luckily, with him, there was never a shortage of material on the menu.
Last call soon. Do you fancy another drink, Miss Maddow?
I'll take another White Russian. This time, heavy on the Russian. Here's what we know, and here's what we don't know yet. But here's why what we don't know yet matters.
In March of 2017, Adam Schiff stood before the press and uttered the words that would define the next 2 years.
I can tell you that the evidence of collusion is significant. I can tell you that what the committee has seen in classified settings goes well beyond what has been reported publicly. I'm not in a position to characterize it further, but I want the American people to understand this is serious. This is very serious.
She took what Schiff implied and built an hour around it, and another, and another, and another. They all did.
What the ranking member of the Intelligence Committee is saying is accurate, and he has access to intelligence we do not have access to, then what we're looking at is not a question of whether there was contact. The question, the only question that matters now, is if that contact amounts to collusion.
Jake Tapper from CNN noticed. They always notice.
CNN has learned that the House Intelligence Committee's ranking member, Adam Schiff, has told colleagues he has seen evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russian operatives. We want to be careful here. We want to be precise. But this, if confirmed, would be significant.
Schiff implied. Maddow built. CNN amplified. Nobody was lying. Nobody was coordinating. They didn't need to. The machine had all it needed. And in living rooms across America, grief became certainty.
He's so guilty. Everyone knows it.
Adam Schiff did not operate in a vacuum. Behind his word rested a commitment to those who needed the story to be true. To those whose presence always loomed large. There was no pulling back now. The press had relied on his word. The public had relied on his word. 2 years of coverage built on the foundation that the evidence existed, that he had seen it, but just couldn't say what it was. But now he wouldn't have to. Robert Mueller would say it for him.
I've been consistent on this from the beginning. The evidence exists. I've seen it. My colleagues on the committee have seen it. The American people deserve to see it. And when the special counsel completes his work, they will.
Enter Special Counsel Robert Mueller. His investigation would confirm everything. His report would tie it all together. Just wait. Every chip was on the table, every night. Maddow was all in.
I know how this sounds. I know some of you are frustrated, and some of these things might sound crazy, but I need you to stay with me, because what is coming is going to be the most significant political story in American history. And when it arrives, and it is going to arrive, you are going to want to have followed every step of the way. And I want to be very clear about what we're looking at here. Because if this is what it appears to be, and I want to be careful, but if this is what it appears to be, well, let's just say the walls are closing in.
Sources are telling us, and we want to be careful here, that the walls may be closing in on the president.
He was thorough, he was diligent, and anything that could be found would be found. And he would lay it all out there for the world to see. The country was waiting. Her audience was waiting. She was waiting. The time had finally arrived. 448 pages, 2 years, 17 attorneys, 40 FBI agents, 2,800 subpoenas, 500 search warrants, 2 years of everything, signed, sealed, delivered. And when all was said and done, among the thousands of legal documents compiled into one definitive report, the verdict was in. All smoke, no fire. But Schiff could explain.
The report makes clear that the Trump campaign welcomed Russian interference. It makes clear that there were numerous contacts. The question of whether that meets the legal threshold for criminal conspiracy is a separate question from whether it was wrong. And we know it was wrong.
Maddow could explain.
The report does not exonerate. Volume 2 is explicit on that point. There are 10 separate instances of potential obstruction. We know that there was collusion. The real question becomes, is this the full report? And why are there so many redactions? Someone needs to be held accountable.
and Tapper didn't even try.
The Mueller report is in. We are going through it now. There is a lot here. We will have full coverage throughout the day. But we also want to turn to some other developing stories this afternoon. A tiger attacked a zookeeper in Kansas today. More on that after the break.
And Faith was slightly confused.
There has to be an explanation. Everyone was saying it.
Adam Schiff had assured them that he had seen the evidence, and that the Mueller report would verify every implication put forth by the Steele dossier. He knew there was a gap to be filled, but believed it was only a matter of time. He would wager his unimpeachable credibility that it would. Maddow and the rest of the media would wager their own credibility on Adam's assurances. And betting on someone with his reputation hardly seemed like a bet at all. And the people watched with faith and hope and trust. And in the end, the story was there. The facts were there. The connections were not. And that gap between what he believed and what existed is where years of credibility went. The people appeared to be finally loosening their grip on the hope that they had been desperately clinging onto. The credibility that Schiff had spent a lifetime building, spent in 2 years. The trust that Maddow had earned over the past decade, squandered away in 2 years. They took the gamble, and it cost them what mattered most. That's the price you pay when politicians prioritize party loyalty, when media figures rely on faith while wagering their own reputations to go all in.
We take our responsibility to the American people seriously, and we will follow the facts wherever they lead.